Houston radio host Landry Locker, Texans receivers, talking about that. This from the locker room featuring Landry Locker.
The Texans wide receivers. Nico Collins, great game yesterday. He had 195 yards. It was an epic day. The rest of the receivers combined had 2 catches for 11 yards. Noah Brown, he was out. Robert Woods, he tried to play. He was unable to go. You would like to get at least one of those guys back. I would think that they think that both of them have a chance to play, but the Texans are going to need more playmaking at wide receiver because the Colts secondary, it is a very young, inexperienced secondary. You're going to be facing the Cleveland Browns defense that is a mofo in the trenches and much better than what we saw from the Colts yesterday. So the state of the Texans wide receivers would be something to keep an eye on.
And when you look at that, Scott, their secondary, the Browns secondary, is as good as any in the league.
Oh, my gosh, yes. And I'm trying to work on a big story about just how good that cornerback group is. And Denzel Ward's back, and he says he's feeling real, if not 100%, real close to it. Thinks he can tackle again with after that shoulder injury. We know how well Martin Emerson Jr. has played. I think Greg Newsome has bounced back remarkably after that tough game in Denver and has got his hands on a lot of balls. Now, we saw Nico Collins open that game against Indianapolis. He just ran by the corner. And that can happen, right? If you're going play action, man-to-man, like the Browns like to play, you can give up a play here or there. But I think we've learned that this group of corners in this defense is not going to give up a bunch of drives, is not going to give up a bunch of catches, which is why I like really any matchup, when you talk about corners versus receivers. But I really like it when it feels like Collins is the only real wide receiver threat for those guys.
Yeah, I agree that, any of the three of them, you can mix and match however you think is to your advantage if you're Jim Schwartz, because all three of those guys are really good.